Okay, so I will be doing this on vector programming language, which caught my interest because it was supposed to be brutally simple, and it is. But it also, in learning it, how it works, it is essentially programming with a Pez dispenser. Because everything works off the Pez dispenser, which is called the stack, which holds values instead of candy, which some people might find good, some people might find bad. But anyway, how factor works is, as I said, through the stack, but I'll give you an example of how you write something in, let's say, Java. If you want to have a number run through several different functions, which in factor called words, you'd write something like this. R of E of the all on 42. Okay, so in which case Z 42 gets sent to Z, it returns a value, D takes that, it returns a value, R takes that, returns a value, and C equals the result of all that. Let's write this in factor. It would be this, and that's it. So you think 42 would go into Z, Z would go, the result would go into D, and D result would go into R, which is kind of how it works. But how it actually really goes through is 42 gets used and it's put on the stack. And then Z doesn't care about what's right before it at all. What it cares is what's on the stack. So it then would grab 42 from the stack. And then it would then output a new value onto the stack. And then D would take this new value, do its stuff on it, and then put a new value onto the stack. And then R would then take this newer value and place its value, the resulting, onto the stack. Now the stack can hold theoretically infinite values. I don't actually know if there's a hard limit, but it will just keep holding new and new values. Words take 0 or more values from the stack and then place at the end 0 or more values onto the stack. In which case, all of these were assumed to be 1 in, 1 out. Now, to see that more specifically in action, we'll use these words, the plus, minus, multiplication, division, which do what you would think. But then seeing it in action is a little bit different. So, if you wanted to write the equation 2 plus 3 times 5 and divide by 2. To write that in factor, you would write so that's how you would write this all in factor. Now, as you may have noticed before, a couple of things is everything happens from left to right instead of the previous thing where we usually seem to do right to left. The second thing is instead of having parentheses and stuff to indicate precedence in what should go before, it's only in order. So this will happen, 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 this will happen. There's no need to worry about any type of precedence. Always just goes left to right, doing each of the things. So in this case, 2 and 3 get added to the stack. So we've gone through here, and we now have 2 and 3 on the stack. And then the plus happens. It takes 2 values from the stack, 2 and a 3, does addition, and puts the result onto the stack. So we've gotten there so far. Then the 5 will get added to the stack. And then the multiplication would take 2 values, remove them from the stack, multiply them, and put the resulting on the stack. And then the 2 gets added. And division happens, and it takes the 2 values, in which case it would be 25 divided by 2, and I'll just put that on the stack. And then if you use the dot operator, your function word, if you use the dot word, it'll take 12.5 off the stack, and it pretty prints it. So output would be 5. And the way that goes, I just find super interesting because it's simple in how it goes, but looking at it and trying to write it is a little weird. Now, there are operators that allow you to change the stack and edit the stack itself, but that's essentially still the same thing. It pulls values from the stack and then outputs a new set of values, which are essentially reorders of the old ones, or more of them. So like dupe would take whatever the last thing is, say it was a 5, and duplicates it. So now you have another 5. So you could potentially use that if you have a function that needs more than one. If you need to use the same value more than one time. So just like how Java has equals C. So now C, you can use that value multiple times. In this, you have to duplicate it and set it and keep track of it on the stack. There isn't the C to hold on to. You actually still have to work with the stack. And that could turn into a headache, but that's how it works. And I find that really interesting. I